This is your chapter 3 interactive video session, and the name of your chapter is Fiber to Fabric. The topics that we are going to deal are the animal fibers. In this video, the detailed discussion of wool, the animal, one of the most important animal fibers, will be fully discussed in detail. Quality of fiber wool, the different types of wool, and the trademark of wool. Up to this, before going or detailing the topic of today's discussion, I would like to start with the term fiber and the fabric. Fabric means the cloth or the garment. Now come to this word. What the word fiber, what does the word fiber mean? What does the word fiber actually give the meaning of what sense? See, all types of fibers are not considered as nutrients, but all types of fibers are very important part of our food. That means fibers are considered the components of food, but they are not considered as nutrients. Am I clear? And there are different terms that are used for the fibers, such as in some cases these fibers are known as dietary fibers. For another types of cases, these are known as roughages. Why fibers are not considered as nutrients? Because these are indigestible food components in the body of animal as well as in the body of human being, but they are digestible for the cattle. In the sense of animal cattle, these are considered as food or the nutrients of food. But for other types of animals and the human beings, these types of fibers are not considered as nutrients of food. But these are essential. Why? Because these types of fibers play always an important role in constipation and in order to make the stool soft. And in biological sense, we can say also in another term that mainly cellulose are fibers, and cellulose are carbohydrates mainly, and these cellulose, the fibers present in the cell wall of the plant body. And as I mentioned earlier, cellulose, the fibers are not considered as nutrients for the human beings and many different types of animals. But for the case of cattle, these types of food component, the fibers are considered as nutrient, because for cattle these are digestible, means fibers are digestible for the cattle. That's why cattle, for the case of cattle, These fibers are known as important nutrient component of food. I hope the term fibers are clear. There are different types of sources of fibers, right? We may get it from the plant sources as well as animal sources. The plant sources are fruits, vegetables, carrot, cucumber, cabbage, etc. But today in this video, the chapter is from fiber to fabric. In this module, the chapter is mainly based on the discussion of animal fibers. And the two most important animal fibers are wool and the silk. Today, I'll be discussing regarding the wool. We know that clothes we wear are made of fibers. And fibers may be obtained from both types of sources, either from plants or the animals. Fibers mainly obtained from plants and animals are known as the natural fibers. Now see, there are two types of categories broadly of fibers. One kind of fiber is known as natural fibers, and the other types of fibers are known as the man-made or synthetic fibers. These are of two types of fibers. Clear? Natural fibers are those fibers which are obtained mainly from the plants and the animals. Whereas the synthetic fibers or the man-made fibers are those fibers which are made or synthesized or prepared or obtained chemically in the factory and are made by man. What are the sources of plant fibers? What are the plant fibers? We can say cotton, jute, flax. These are the plant fibers. And we can say also in another term that these are the natural cellulose fibers. Clear? And animal fibers are wool and silk. These are the natural protein fibers. Mind it. Plant fibers are cellulose-based type of fibers, but the animal fibers are natural protein type of fibers. Now, what are the examples of fibers? Mainly all kind of hairs present on the body of animals are known as fibers. What are the examples? Fleece. Fleece is one kind of fiber, and we will get this kind of fiber, fleece, from the body of the sheep. Therefore, we can say the sheep hair will be known as fleece, and this fleece is sheep hair fiber. The another example is fur. It is from the rabbit's body, rabbit's hair. Bristles, third one, and we will get this fiber bristle from the hair of the squirrel. And there is also a very special type of fiber, and this is known as the silk. This is known as the silk, and it is what? It is the fiber of the cocoon of the silk. This is the fiber of the cocoon of the silk. Clear? And most commonly, animal fibers that we use in our daily life are wool and silk. Remind it. The most commonly or frequently usable fibers of animal or animal-based fibers in our daily life or day-to-day life are wool and silk. These are known as the animal fibers. Now, what are the mode of production and the process of wool? We know that all kind of wool fibers are natural hair fibers, and these grow on the body of the animal, and these are known as the fleece. Clear? For the case of sheep. For the case of sheep, we can say the hair, natural hair of sheep is known as fleece. And it is composed of protein substance, mind it, called as keratin. And keratin is composed of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and the sulfur. The spongy feel of wool fibers is due to the presence of crimps or the curls in it. This is very important. We feel spongy the wool fibers. Reason is the presence of crimps or the curls. Presence of crumbs or the curls in it. Crimps or curls in it. This presence of crimps and the curls in the wool will provide us the feel of spongy like feelings. Clear? And that's why spongy feel of wool fibers is due to the presence of crimps and the curls in it. And what are crimps? Crimps create pockets of air, and that will in turn give the insulation property of the wool to the wearer. This is very important. The property of insulation of wool is only for the presence of crimps or the curls in it. Clear? And the wool fiber is scaly on its surface. Scaly, mind it. On its surface, the wool fiber is scaly. Now, what are the two kinds of hair? That means, what are the two kinds of fleece? One is camp, another one is the crimps. Camp is the coarse or the rough fiber. Mind it, camp of fleece or clamp type of fleece hair are mainly coarse fibers which are slightly thicker, straight, rough, and generally discarded. Clear? And for the case of the crimps type of fleece, these are very fine and soft. And this type of wool is highly recommended. And these type of wools are obtained from the fleece that contains only the fine, the soft, and the curly hair. Now this is very important information. More the crimps or the curls on a fiber, there will be the chance of betterment in the quality of wool. Am I clear? The more the crimps or the curls on the fiber, there will be the chance of betterment in the quality of the wool. More crimps or curls in fiber, more the quality of the wool. Clear? That means we will get more softness, more fineness of the wool. And what is the important role of crimps or the curls for the fiber? It plays or it holds the fibers together and make the wool fluffy. And then hence, that's why crimps, due to the presence of crimps or the curls in the fiber, all types of wools, mainly the crimps of the curls types of wools are desirable to spin and drawn into yarn due to the presence of only crimps or the curls. Clear? Now fluffy wool holds a lot of air, as I mentioned earlier, in between the fiber. We know that air is a bad conductor of heat. That's why it makes the wool a good insulator of heat. This is very important. Due to the presence of air in the wool, the air will act as a bad conductor of heat, and it will make the wool a good insulator of heat. Neither the heat, that means neither the heat of the body of the wearer escape out into the atmosphere or air, nor the outside air or heat, we can say, cold air or heat, will reach to the body of the wearer. This thing will be performed only by the presence of air in the wool. Clear? Therefore, the wearer feels warm. This is the very important question. Why does the wearer feel warm? You have to answer in this manner, in this way. The reason is crumbs, the importance of the creams or the curls in the fibers, the formation of wool fluffy, and the presence of air in the fiber. Clear? Now, what are the qualities of the fiber or wool? That will depend upon. Mainly the quality of wool or the fiber of wool, quality of fiber will depend upon, number one is age and health condition of the animal. Lamb's wool is highly valuable or valued since it is extremely soft and the superior of quality. Once again I mentioned that the age and the health condition of animal will matter for the quality of fiber. Example is lamb's wool is highly recommended or highly valued since it is extremely soft and the superior quality. Second factor is environment. Either the environment would be hot or cool. It will play an important role in the quality of fiber. The another thing is the part of the body of the animal, such as wool from the shoulder region and the underbelly of sheep is better than the fiber from the back of the animal. Clear? And last thing is that wool is obtained from sheep, either goat, rabbit or llama. These are the name of animals from where we can avail such kind of wool. And the most common source of wool is the sheep. Mainly from this animal we avail such kind of wool. Clear? Now we will discuss different types of wool. Lamb's wool, this is comes from the baby sheep, clear? And it is extremely soft, long and highly crimpled and of superior quality. Soft wool comes from adult and the healthy sheep. Rough wool, it comes from aged and diseased sheep, camel, etc. Angora wool, it is too soft and the fluffy. Merino is one kind of wool that comes from a special breed of sheep from the country is Spain and Australia, and it is exceptionally soft, fluffy and light in weight, and it is highly crimpled, soft and fine. Pashmina is another kind of wool, and it comes from the hilly region. Goats live in the cold region. Now the very important type of wool is Shahtush. This is the softest and the costliest wool. Clear? Softest and the costliest wool is Shahtush. It comes from the flesh of the Tibetan antelope known as the Ch-3 in the local language, and they live in the icy cold region. Ch-3 is skilled for obtaining Shahtush type of wool. That's why government has banned the sale, purchase and the use of the Shahtush wool. Clear? Fleece or hair fiber from yak, the Tibetan ox is known as yak, is rough and thick, and this is used for making blankets and for the rugs. Mind it. The fleece from yak is very rough and thick. That's why it is used for making only blankets and the rugs. Camel wool is also used for making the rugs and the shawls. Now the last thing is the trademark of the wool. This is the trademark of the wool. In order to identify pure wool textile, this kind of mark will be given, and it will confirm the quality of pure wool, and it will differentiate from the blended wool with the inferior type of quality from the pure wool. Thanks for watching.